one yet.
UAV awaiting orders. Wraith awaiting orders.
What's going on, guys? Great Disciple back with another video. This gameplay in the background is absolutely insane. I teamed up with a fellow YouTuber. Y'all have probably watched him. If not, I'm gonna link him below because he had his own perspective on this game. Mighty in Christ is his name. His gameplays are crazy. He plays a lot like the Mark J, in my opinion. I like his commentaries, and he actually did a video on this exact same gameplay because it was special. It was my first time and his first time of two nuclears in one game. And we even talked about it. I think it was our first or our second time playing together. We had tried a couple times, our schedules just never worked out. And we got together, we played like 4 or 5 games. I nuked 3 of them, he nuked 2. And in this one, we both talked about how we're both gonna get a nuclear, and we did it. He got his first. I think it was either right at the end of the first round or the beginning of the second round, and then you'll see when my nuke streak starts. And I was running scavenger and I was running out of bullets, and you'll even see where he froze from killing a guy, and I said let me kill him, and I killed the guy, picked up his gun, got a scav pack, and continued on my streak. So you guys go check out Mighty in Christ. You'll love what he has, and this gameplay is crazy. And oh, by the way, a little spoiler, the game ends early. Alright, we were both just absolutely murdering the other team. We never bothered to take the B flag, and for some reason our randoms didn't either. So there was still, I think, 20 points left in the game. I mean, it was one of those games, if it would have kept on going, there is no telling how many kills I would have gotten in this game. I mean, once I started that streak, I didn't die. It was great. So, but I wanted to do something a little different. I like history, and I think as men get older, we start to look back at history, and there was this historian a while back who spoke about America, or a democracy and all. It was a guy named Alexander Tyler. He's a Scottish history professor at the University of Edinburgh. It was back in 1887. And he had this to say about the fall of the Athenian Republic some 2,000 years prior. He said this: "A democracy is always temporary in nature. It simply cannot exist as a permanent form of government. A democracy will continue to exist up until the time that voters discover that they can vote themselves generous gifts from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates who promise the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that every democracy will finally collapse over loose fiscal policy, which is always followed by a dictatorship." Isn't that interesting? Let me continue on a little bit. Did you know that the average age of the world's greatest civilizations, all the way back from the beginning of history, has been about 200 years. During those 200 years, nations progress through a following sequence. And if there's anything we know about history, is that it always repeats itself. So listen to this progression over 200 years. They'll go from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance. Abundance leads to complacency. Complacency goes to apathy. Apathy to dependence. And from dependence back into bondage. You see that big circle? And the obituary follows. Listen to this about the United States of America. You know, the United States of America won its independence in 1776. And there was a professor, Professor Joseph Olson from Hamlin University, the School of Law. He's in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he points out some interesting facts concerning the last presidential election, which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, because we have an election coming up in America. Did you know that the number of states won by Obama was 19? Romney won 29. The total square miles of land won by Obama was 580,000. Romney won 2.4 million square miles of land in America. The population of the counties won by Obama, 127 million. Romney, 143 million. Listen, this one's crazy. The murder rate per 100,000 residents in counties won by Obama was 13.2. The murder rate per 100,000 residents in counties won by Romney is 2.1. In aggregate, the map of the territory Romney won was mostly the land owned by tax-paying citizens of the country. Interesting, right? Obama territory mostly encompassed those citizens living in low-income tenements and living off of various forms of government welfare. So, therefore, Olson believes, based on going back to what the Scottish professor talked about in 1887, he said that the United States is now somewhere between the complacency and apathy phase of Professor Tyler's definition of democracy, with some 40% of the nation's population already having reached the government dependency phase. What that means is that percentage of the population in America relies on the government for their daily needs, and that number continues to grow. And as it grows, the candidate that promises the most in entitlements will continue to gain office. It's shocking, isn't it? I mean, I read this article and I was blown away, and I don't know how it fits what you guys see, but I mean, you can go back to all of the major empires: the Roman Empire, the Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, the Greek Empire with Alexander the Great, the Egyptian Empire, Assyria, even the United Kingdom, and you can see these phases take place over time. I thought it was shocking. I didn't know if you guys find this interesting, but I do, especially since there's an election right around the corner. So, as always, if you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up button, because this gameplay in the background was absolutely crazy. Crazy, man. One of my favorite gameplays since I started playing Black Ops 3. Remember, you guys, go check out Mighty in Christ. His channel's awesome. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these stats. Hit that thumbs up button. As always, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.